Hey you, welcome back to Secrets with Maeve, the space for the conversations we usually keep to ourselves. I'm Maeve. Today, we're talking about something I know so many of us struggle with in silence. The one text that lives in her head, rent free. Let's get into it. What if one single sentence could slip into her mind and make her replay every word you said for days, even when she's at work, even when she's with friends, even when she's trying to focus on anything else? You know that feeling when you text her and she replies short, then goes quiet, and you're left wondering why she suddenly pulled back. It's not because you're boring or did something wrong. It's because you missed the one psychological trigger that actually makes her brain loop back to you on repeat. Stay till the end because the last point will completely change how you see women forever. In this video, I'm going to hand you the exact female psychology blueprint behind the one sentence that plants you deep in her thoughts. You'll discover how her subconscious really works, why most guys fail at keeping her attention, and the precise words that create a dopamine loop she can't escape. I'm not talking about cheesy pickup lines or endless compliments. This is rooted in attachment theory and how her brain actually wires emotional memories. Picture this. You had an amazing date last week. The conversation flowed. She laughed. Everything felt right. But now her replies are slower, and you're scared she's losing interest. Sound familiar? That's exactly what we're fixing today. Stick with me because by the end you'll know the one sentence that turns that silence into her obsessing over you. Here's the psychology most men never learn. A woman's brain doesn't remember facts the way yours does. It remembers emotional anchors. When you say something that hits her feelings instead of her logic, her subconscious tags you with a dopamine hit and files it away. Attachment theory shows that these anchors create what psychologists call intrusive thoughts. Random moments during her day when your words pop back into her head without warning. It's not magic. It's how her mind protects and revisits positive emotional connections. Real life example. Imagine you're on a coffee date and instead of asking about her job, you quietly say, "I notice the way your eyes light up when you talk about your little sister." That's rare. She smiles. The date ends fine, but 3 days later, she's driving to work and suddenly smiles again, remembering that exact line. She doesn't know why, but you're now living rentrée in her head. Actionable tip you can use today. In your next conversation, pick one small detail about her that feels personal and reflect it back with genuine warmth. Don't overthink it. Just say it once and move on. Female psychology runs on intermittent rewards, exactly like a slot machine. When you give her a hit of emotional connection and then leave just enough space, her brain keeps chasing the next dopamine release. That's why random generic texts kill attraction. They remove the uncertainty that keeps her thinking. Psychologists call this the partial reinforcement effect, and it's 10 times stronger in women because their emotional memory system is wired to seek deeper bonds. Once that loop starts, she literally can't help checking her phone or daydreaming about what you might say next. Real life example, you've been texting for a few days. She sends a funny meme. Most guys reply instantly with LOL. So true, but you wait a couple hours and reply. That actually reminds me of the way you laughed the other night. Still thinking about it. She feels the spark, then the pause. Suddenly, she's the one staring at her screen, wondering when you'll text again. Actionable tip you can use today. After any good interaction, send one warm message that references a shared moment, then don't text again for at least 6 hours. Let her brain do the rest of the work. Here's what attachment theory proves. Women don't fall for the guy who seems perfect and untouchable. They fall for the man who shows a tiny safe crack in his armor at the right moment. That tiny vulnerability triggers her caregiving instinct and releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Her subconscious decides you're safe but exciting. And that combination makes her replay your words on a loop. It's not weakness. It's the precise key that turns casual interest into emotional obsession. Real life example. You're walking her to her car after dinner. Most guys say, "I had fun." You pause and say softly, "I don't usually open up this quick, but talking to you feels easy." She drives home replaying that line because it made her feel chosen and special in a way no generic compliment ever could. Actionable tip you can use today. Choose one small, honest feeling you actually have and share it in one calm sentence during your next call or date. Keep your voice steady and your eye contact warm. That calm delivery is what makes it powerful. Most men think showing any emotion is neediness, but psychologists say the opposite is true. Attachment research shows that authentic vulnerability actually strengthens her pull toward you because it activates her deep desire for real connection, while the uncertainty keeps the dopamine flowing. That's the pattern most guys never see. The biggest trap in female psychology is sounding generic. When your words could have been said to any woman, her brain files you under average and stops the loop. Her subconscious needs specificity, proof that you really see her, not just a female shape. That specificity creates what psychologists call personalized attachment, making your voice the only one that echoes in her head. Without it, even a good conversation fades in 48 hours. Real life example. She tells you she loves rainy days. Generic guy says rainy days are cozy, but you say, "I love that you love rainy days." Most people rush through them, but you seem to actually savor them. That tiny detail sticks. She starts wondering how you notice something so small about her, and the thoughts keep coming back. Actionable tip you can use today. Before your next interaction, mentally note one unique thing she shared last time and weave it into your reply naturally. Make it about her, not about you impressing her. Everything we've covered, the anchor, the dopamine loop, the vulnerability, the specificity, all leads to this single sentence that activates every trigger at once. Female psychology shows that the perfect combination of honesty, specificity, and gentle future projection creates what experts call an open emotional loop. Her brain can't close it, so she keeps returning to you in her thoughts, trying to figure out what it means and what happens next. Real life example. You've had 2 dates. The conversation is winding down. You look at her calmly and say the sentence. She smiles, but inside her mind is already replaying it while she brushes her teeth that night, while she's in meetings the next day, and while she's lying in bed wondering when she'll hear from you again. Actionable tip you can use today. Deliver this exact sentence once in a calm, steady voice, preferably at the end of a good interaction when she's already feeling connected. There's something about the way you see the world that makes me want to keep discovering more of it with you. That's it. One sentence, no extra explanation. Just let it land and then change the subject naturally. Her subconscious does the heavy lifting from there. Most men think that being direct about your feelings is neediness, but psychologists say the opposite is true. In fact, attachment theory research shows that authentic vulnerability actually strengthens her pull toward you because it activates her deep desire for real connection, while the uncertainty keeps the dopamine flowing. That's the pattern most guys never see. So let's quickly recap the 3 most important points that will actually change your results with women. First, create a subconscious emotional anchor by noticing something real about her. Second, use the dopamine loop by giving warmth and then space. And third, deliver the one sentence that combines vulnerability and specificity so her mind can't let you go. You now have the exact tool that most men will never understand. You're not chasing anymore. You're creating a quiet, powerful pull that makes her think about you even when you're not around. That feeling of being chosen, it's yours. Now, if this opened your eyes, smash that like button and comment the word sentence below. I read every single comment. In my next video, I'll reveal she acts distant but feels everything. Psychologists explain why vertical bar female psychology. See you there.